People love this because it's a healthy alternative to soda.
Is it Nordic?
I think it's somewhere in the Midwest.
What's up, guys? It's Jason here, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Sparkling Water Insight. When you think of sparkling water, you may conjure images of the well-to-do sipping San Pellegrino or Perrier in their signature emerald green bottles, possibly by the beach, on a yacht, or at a trendy eatery. That's largely been accurate until the emergence of another sparkling water option that not only signals that you're likely affluent, but also hip. And that option is none other than the flavored sparkling water brand La-Croix. The subject of many debates about how to pronounce its name.
Sounds pretty French to me.
La-Croix. La-Croix.
I say it LaCroix.
La-Croix?
And if it's really good for you, and what naturally essenced sparkling water actually means. La-Croix is not French, but from La Crosse, Wisconsin. It's been around since the 1980s, but we're going to take a deep dive into how a Midwestern brand conquered the wallets of many hipsters and wannabe hipsters alike. When did La-Croix become popular, and what is so special about La-Croix? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what problems the drink is encountering now. Before we begin, if you wouldn't mind just tapping that like button for the YouTube algorithm, I would really appreciate it. The more engagement a video like this gets, the more likely the YouTube algorithm is to push it out for more people to enjoy. And as this is a brand new channel I started this year, it helps me out and it's free to do. I also respond to all comments. If you enjoy drinking sparkling water to be healthy and stay away from soda, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for new videos each week. Thanks for doing that, and now let's continue on with Is La-Croix Good For You? History and branding. From 2015 to 2016, La-Croix's revenue increased by 72.7%, with its owner, Florida-based National Beverage Corp., having net sales of $826.9 million in 2017, in comparison to just $662 million in 2013. La-Croix really cemented its place as the millennial non-alcohol drink around that time. But La-Croix first hit shelves in 1981. Prior to being acquired in 2002 by National Beverage Corporation, it was founded by Midwestern brewing company G. Heilerman Brewing Company. In stark contrast to its current brand positioning, La-Croix was initially marketed as the anti-Perrier brand for customers who were put off by the perceived snobbiness of Perrier customers. At the time, the can's packaging looked a bit different, with a zigzagged line through the Croix and color blocking. Nonetheless, as one reporter from the Midwest notes, in the 1990s, La-Croix was not cool or trendy, unless you were a teenage camper who was legally unable to drink alcohol and so settled for La-Croix, or a mom trying to be healthy with her friends. It was a staple at the local Walmart, and it was produced in factories domestically in the United States, not from a natural water source in southern France, as, for instance, Perrier claims. In 2002, once National Beverage Corp. Acquired La-Croix, the company recognized that it needed to rebrand La-Croix to help it grow beyond its Midwestern roots. Surprisingly for National Beverage Corp., once they enlisted the help of branding firm Alchemy Brand Group, they didn't get the response they were looking for. Alchemy Brand Group came up with several options for the company's executives to choose from, ranging from stoic and simple to the web of color that La-Croix is to today. While the company's executives preferred the clean and plain designs on offer, surveyed customers overwhelmingly preferred the bright hodgepodge of colors and paint-like font that makes La-Croix instantly recognizable today. Ironically, despite the branding sometimes attracting criticism from your pseudo-sophisticated designers, in 2003, the newly revamped 12-ounce can actually won the Gold Global Design Award for packaging. It showed that, not unusually, consumers do know what's best for them and what they like and dislike. When surveyed, what they liked about the packaging were the waves that some consumers described as Picasso-esque. That aspect, along with the use of often brighter pastel color combos, made it stand out among the very simple, minimalistic branding of San Pellegrino and Perrier. It was also the perfect way to distinguish it visually from what it was marketed in contrast to: sugary, unhealthy sodas. La-Croix's rebranding came at the perfect time for it to ride the wave of burgeoning interest in drinking alternatives to soda among adults and the children who come under their care. Indeed, a Harvard study even confirmed that from 2003 to 2016, the percentage of adults who drank in excess of 500 calories of soda actually dropped from 13 to 9%. Take that, big soda industry! The increased risk of diabetes, obesity, and heart disease usually correlated to excessive soda consumption finally hit home in the United States among adults. But it's a chicken and egg dilemma if we try to figure out if LaCroix merely rode a pre-existing wave of health consciousness or if it inspired it, or perhaps a bit of both. Steady growth and expansion. Whatever the case may be, LaCroix has been on a roll since soda consumption has declined and sparkling water, especially flavored sparkling water, has become the healthy carbonated alternative. This is in the bigger picture of a general shift towards bottled water rather than water straight from the tap as well. More specifically, in 1988, the average American drank less than 4 gallons of bottled water, whether sparkling or still, for the entire year. Fast forward to 2015 and the average American now consumed 37 gallons of bottled water. The International Bottled Water Association, yes, there is an International Bottled Water Association, they outlined that from 2003 to 2014, except 2009, American consumption of sparkling water has increased with consumption at 153 million gallons in 2003 and almost doubling to 338 million gallons in 2014. The National Beverage Corp were taking notes, and in addition to their advantage of having flavored water that was conveniently manufactured in 12 domestic plants that they owned, they were able to quickly ship LaCroix to as many stores they wanted them in, including more upscale chains like Whole Foods. It was a crucial distinction that allowed LaCroix to gain attention beyond the cost-conscious crowd at Target and Walmart. National Beverage Corp owning its own production facilities helped LaCroix scale rapidly because it didn't have the pains of having to negotiate in just terms according to a third-party manufacturer's terms and schedules. As it expanded its number of retailers, it also tried to stay innovative by expanding its range of flavors. In 2004, LaCroix had only 6 flavors: pure, lemon, lime, berry, orange, and cran raspberry. Those 6 flavors were not by accident. They targeted the flavors that diet soda drinkers were already familiar with because they would be one of the demographics most receptive to healthy sparkling water drinks that had the pop of, well, pop.
Oh my God. That exploded a little bit on me.
By 2015, LaCroix had 20 flavors, including more exotic offerings such as melon pomelo, kiwi sandia, and pure pepino. Luckily for most consumers, the cans also have photos of the fruits that contribute to the natural essence that makes LaCroix LaCroix. Unlike competitors such as Coke and Pepsi, who typically advertised in more traditional formats such as the Super Bowl and TV ads generally, LaCroix mostly avoided going the easy but expensive route. With smart marketing, LaCroix has managed to bamboozle hipsters, the fitness-obsessed, and the general upper middle class into believing its authenticity as the best-kept secret only you and your friends were hip enough to know about. That authenticity led to their core millennial audience becoming organic advocates for them on social media, as LaCroix focused its efforts on Instagram and partnerships with influencers in particular. LaCroix's former brand digital strategist specified that the brand targeted millennials who were highly engaged on Instagram and responding to every Instagram user who tagged the brand regardless of their number of followers. No user was too unimportant to interact with. However, users who had larger followers sometimes received special perks for showcasing their LaCroix lifestyles on Instagram, with some fans receiving vouchers for cases of LaCroix. That strategy obviously worked because within 8 months of it joining in 2015, it grew from 4,000 to 30,000 followers. As of 2021, LaCroix has 184,000 followers. Its fellow competitor sparkling waters such as Perrier sits at 46,800 followers, while even San Pellegrino still trails LaCroix at 104,000. In addition to partnering with micro-influencers on Instagram, LaCroix officially partnered or otherwise associated with social media trends such as Whole30, a nutritional program that is advertised as a holistic path towards losing weight and better health. The name Whole30 alludes to the program's intention for followers to see significant improvements in their eating habits, weight loss, and self-confidence in 30 days. It made perfect sense for LaCroix to become Whole30's partner in health, as described in their press release. It's another validation point for LaCroix's health-conscious consumers. Though there are still naysayers out there who doubt the impact of social media on sales, encouraging user-generated content on Instagram only added to their advantages and sales. So much so that at its peak in 2015, LaCroix became a category leader in 41 of all 52 metro areas in the US. Absolutely not a small achievement for a Midwestern brand, and its competitors soon took notice. PepsiCo Inc. came up with Bubbly, a flavored sparkling water that is fashionably all lowercase and takes playwrights from LaCroix's book of marketing, floral, bright colors, and encouraging user-generated content with the gift creator on its site. Coca-Cola Company followed soon in 2017 with Topo Chico, a Mexican mineral water that already had an established brand of diehard fans. Having giants join the flavored sparkling water field only increased competition for LaCroix, and unfortunately for the brand, in 2017 it began to get a bit stagnant. For the first time in a long time, in July of that year, sales fell by more than 15% compared to 2016, while Bubbly sales increased by about 96%. Some kinks to work out and future plans. Since 2017, LaCroix's explosive growth slowed down and it ceded a bit of market share to its many rivals, mostly those backed by veteran players in the industry. It didn't help that National Beverage Corp's chairman and CEO Nick Caparella has ruffled some feathers with employees who complain he is hard-driving and idiosyncratic. His unwillingness to compromise with retailers who wanted to discount LaCroix to continue selling them well in the face of stiff, much cheaper competition were rebuffed. Instead, LaCroix seemed to take delight in being contradictory and raised their prices while also reducing their marketing spend. In a case of tit for tat, in 2018, Whole Foods made LaCroix sweat. In response to the company refusing to provide discount and promotional concessions, Whole Foods gradually reduced prominent in-store space that previously featured LaCroix exclusively and began to replace them with competitors like Bubbly. Interestingly, what had made LaCroix and National Beverage Corp successful, their disinterest in cutting a deal or playing favorites with any retailer, came back to sting them in the case of Whole Foods. Especially since their higher-income millennial customers are also Whole Foods' main customers. It didn't help that in October of the same year, National Beverage Corp faced a lawsuit from a consumer who targeted the alleged healthiness of LaCroix. The claim was clickbait-worthy and scary if true, that LaCroix marketing itself as all-natural was false because it had synthetic chemical compounds that included an ingredient used in cockroach insecticide. Ugh.
As for that cockroach insecticide ingredient, experts say there is no reason to believe that your LaCroix is unsafe. Keep in mind, chocolate is toxic to dogs. That doesn't mean it's unsafe for you.
Though the lawsuit was actually retracted, it still harmed LaCroix's reputation. To add insult to injury, in June of 2018, one of LaCroix's former executives alleged that the company prematurely announced that LaCroix fans would be devoid of BPA, even though LaCroix was at least months away from transitioning away from the harmful BPA liners. When the concerned executive voiced his opposition to the announcement while the company still planned to use up all of their remaining BPA-lined LaCroix cans. The consecutive accusations of LaCroix being literally toxic forced the company to go on the defense. It also put the credibility of National Beverage Corp's leadership on the line. Caparella has managed to stage off a total coup d'etat by putting his money where his mouth is, stronger sales. In its first quarter earnings for 2019, LaCroix's revenue increased by 12.6% and gross profit increased by 10.7%. The stiff competition for consumers' wallets led LaCroix's leadership to invest in its logistics system to compete with Pepsi and Coca-Cola's mammoth distribution centers. LaCroix's success in Canada also led to the leadership doubling down on the need to explore packaging and distribution options to expedite the introduction of our sparkling waters into additional channels and markets. And that brings us to today. Along with that physical expansion, LaCroix is working on continued innovation with the focus on flavors inspired by Latin American and Mexico. It makes logistical sense as it would be easy for the company to do consumer research given that it's headquartered in heavily Hispanic Fort Lauderdale in Florida. Whether LaCroix continues to dominate the flavored sparkling water industry remains to be seen, but given that the company was able to transform a little-known Midwestern no-name brand to a profitable and fashionable millennial brand, lets no one write off LaCroix just yet. So with that said, thank you so much for watching my video. There was a significant amount of research, production, and sparkling water drinking that went into making this video possible. As this is a brand new YouTube channel I just started this year, if you enjoy videos like this, please click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Do leave a comment as I respond to all of them. If you haven't seen already, check out my video on the rise and fall of Orbit Soda or the rise of White Claw Hard Seltzer. As always, stay happy and healthy and stay tuned for another episode of Company Insight next week.